Alright, so Resident Evil Reverse finally launched today in early access for Resident Evil Village owners, and is going live for everyone else who owns the Gold Edition or buys the Gold Edition on Friday. And I've had a good amount of time to play the game. I streamed the game day one, and I just want to kind of lay out my thoughts on the game. There's some positives and there is some negatives that definitely do need some work, but I'm going to kind of lay out everything now. And yeah, here we go. So straight out the gate, I do want to say character-wise, there is a very, very obvious imbalance, I will say. At the moment, I would probably say your most powerful characters. One is Chris, and you'll see in the background gameplay, he's very strong. He can basically 1v1 almost anyone, and probably another person as well. He has a lot of survivability, and is just an overall powerhouse. So Chris is definitely someone I would say needs a bit of a look at, but it's probably just that one ability, to be honest, that keeps him alive. On top of that, I think from what I've played and from the stream, Ada can be pretty strong as well in the right hands. She's a lot more difficult to play because of her weapons and her abilities, but if you have a good player, she's probably going to slay you as well. So there is some obvious outliers in terms of balance, and I think that goes for any game like this, where there's a character that has unique abilities. Like, look at a game like Overwatch, or something like that, where each character has their own unique kind of playstyle. There's always some that are more powerful than others, and as long as I keep the balance right, I think that, you know, the game could have a bit more longevity. Obviously, in terms of the weapons, obviously you've got a mixed kind of variation. You've got your assault rifles, your SMGs, your shotguns, and to be honest, they're all fairly balanced. I will say the weapons feel quite good. Obviously, a shotgun is going to be much better in close range, AR is going to be better at range, so they work in their respective like type of weapon. But they all kind of feel quite balanced, which is a good thing. It's just more of the abilities that are the issue, on certain characters at least. So next up, let's talk about matchmaking for a little bit. This has two kind of problem points that may throw people off a little bit. First of all, this isn't really an issue, but it is crossplay. You can turn it off, but it is crossplay on by default, so you're playing with anyone on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So keep that in mind when you're playing as well. Also, one of the main things people are complaining about at the moment is there is no option to play in a party with friends. I can only imagine that's either because one, it's still in beta and maybe they're going to add more to it on Friday, or two, because of the mode. The mode is a free-for-all, and pretty much any game I can think of where there's a free-for-all mode, like Call of Duty, again Overwatch at the moment that I've been playing, if you try and keep a free-for-all mode with like friends, it doesn't let you do it. And it is probably to avoid boosting and stuff like that, so that's probably why it's not there. But at the moment, as it stands, there is no mode or option to play with friends. You can, however, set up private lobbies, and they're password protected, so you can just make a lobby with a bunch of friends, give them all the passcode, and then you can get in and play private matches, but you can't play public matches with friends as of right now. On another positive note, the cosmetics in the game are really cool to see. There's loads of weapon charms, and they're all themed around different games from the series. You've got weapon camos, victory poses that your characters can do, even skins. Not everyone's got skins yet, but they're actually skins from other games. Off the top of my head, you've got Chris, who has his Village version and his 7 version. You've got Ada, who has 3 skins at the moment. You've got a default one, which is the RE2 Ada. You've got Resident Evil 6 Ada and Umbrella Chronicles Ada. Leon as well. You've got Leon in his police uniform from the 2 remake, Leon in his casual wear, and then Leon in his leather jacket from 6 as well. So having the skins from different games is a really cool touch, and I really hope they add more. Something I really want to see is like Resident Evil 5 version of Jill, or I don't know, Resident Evil 4 version of Leon, which I'm shocked isn't in the game already, but that would be cool to see as well. But yeah, cosmetic wise, it's spot on. I think it's really what people wanted as well, which is really cool to see. Another thing that might throw people off the game in general is how the kind of matchmaking works in terms of skill base and stuff like that. I did briefly mention matchmaking, but this is probably the biggest point of it. So you're always rated, okay? So any match you play, there is just the one playlist, and you get a matchmaking rating, and that is based on your performance in the game. So if you do better and you win, or you're in first place, you get more points. If you don't do as well and you're in like the last place or lower down, you'll lose points. And there is ranked tiers throughout the game. Obviously you've got your normal kind of, you know, unranked, low ranked, bronze, all that kind of thing. It doesn't actually say that that's what they are, but it works in that system. Obviously the more you win, the better you do, the higher you go. Obviously the worse you do, the lower you stay. And that may throw people off, because obviously the better you do, the higher your rank's going to go, and the more sweaty your lobbies are going to get. And that is a deterrent for some people. Some people just want to play it to have fun, and it is kind of one of those games where it's more about having fun playing it. I obviously want to try and do good at the same time, but I'm not going out of my way to be like in the highest rank. I will definitely try, but that will throw people off because there is no casual playlist. It is ranked and ranked only. And then one final note on the matchmaking side of things. It seems, I'm not 100% certain on it, but it seems it's peer-to-peer matchmaking rather than servers. So what that means is that one person in the lobby is the host, and depending on their connection will depend on your connection. I've played in a couple of lobbies now where I've basically ragdolled everywhere. All my shots have been horrifically registered and I'm not killing anyone. Or I'll blast a mag into them, there'll be a slight delay and then they'll die. And that's not great. I think we're past the point of having games where they're on like peer matchmaking, but this game is apparently, from what I can tell. I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Someone will have to fact check that for me, but it seems like that's what people are saying. If that's the case, it's going to be annoying. It's just bad luck really if you get someone who's hosting with a shitty connection, but it is what it is. But another thing that is a bit of an issue is probably that. One final note about negativity, and this is something I've briefly talked about in stream because me and someone in the chat were investigating it at the time. There are these things you can buy in the game with not paid currency. You can just use the currency you earn from playing matches, and they're coins, and they boost characters in certain ways. Just for example, there's one for each character that increases their overall HP. There's one that increases their like critical boost on headshots and stuff like that. And then there's one where it increases the weapon they're using its damage overall and stuff like that, as well as some creature boosts as well to keep them more tanky and for them to do more damage. That on itself doesn't seem too bad. They're relatively easy to get hold of, you can get them pretty quickly, but the one thing we've noticed with them is they all have a level attached to them. They all start level 1 right now, and the concern is that if they can level up over time when the game fully launches, that it may make the game not pay to win, but the more you play it, obviously the more powerful you'll get. And that is a concern, probably, for especially people jumping in who are new, and they get put in a lobby full of, like, people who've been playing it forever. Obviously, with that, the matchmaking like system does kind of help with that, because obviously if you're just starting, you'll be in the lowest rank, and you'll be matched with people in that lowest rank. But it does pose an issue, so when there's more information on that, probably when the full release happens, or there's any more updates to the coins, I'll let you know. But that is something to be aware of, so it could possibly end up being that the game is play to win, not pay, play. But all that aside, what we've got so far, it is genuinely fun to play. If you ignore some of the issues that kind of happen throughout matches where you get like pinned in the corner, there is some annoying shit that happens. Some of the enemies, the monsters more specifically, can be a bit of a nuisance. Again, connections may kind of be a bit of a problem every now and again, but overall, the game itself, minus some balancing tweaks every now and again, it feels solid. There's not much to go off at the moment. There's only the one mode and 2 maps. It's the RPD and the Baker House. One thing I will say about that is I've played the Baker Estate like 4 times. It seems more weighted towards the RPD at the moment for some reason, but either way, both maps feel really good. And as I was saying in stream, yes, there's only the 2 maps at the moment, but I'd rather the game feel balanced rather than them just pushing out like loads of maps at once. If they can balance characters and stuff like that, when that's done, then release new maps and stuff like that. In terms of what you can expect from the game in the future, they're adding something called a challenge mission. I think that drops on Friday, which would be cool. That might be the PvE thing people are talking about. The Battle Pass isn't live yet. You can currently do the free track, but you can't buy the Battle Pass yet. I think that's coming out on Friday when the game officially releases, as it's still in early access at the moment. But again, with the Battle Pass, it's all cosmetic, it's weapon skins, it's emotes, it's character skins, and it's like pretty much backgrounds for your main menu, which look pretty cool too. But overall, I had a pretty good time playing it. I'll still make videos like every now and again. I don't want it to be the primary thing for the channel. Obviously, there's a lot more content for RE in a single player standpoint, but every now and again, I do want to stream it, make some videos on it when there's new stuff that drops. Probably on Friday as well, there'll be a big drop there, but probably on Friday, my main focus is going to be on the village and its DLC and the third person mode as well. So I'll be playing through all of that on Friday. And I just want to throw this game into the mix because it is fun to play every now and again, and I enjoy it. But let me know what you guys think of the game so far. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it needs changes in certain areas? Let me know. But yeah, it's out now. It runs on early access until Wednesday, goes down for 2 days, and then when the Village DLC releases on Friday, the game will be fully available for anyone who buys Village in the future and who buys the Gold Edition. So thank you for coming by, and I'll catch you in the next one.